Okay, welcome everyone. This is Danger Construction Zone number 3. And soon we're gonna start seeing a little bit the live video and seeing everyone joining. I'm gonna mute this. Yeah, here we go. Very good. So we're just setting up here. We are getting ready for our live danger building session. We're going to wait for a couple people to join us and maybe a couple minutes, and then we'll start. We got a couple of dangers we want to build today and just show you some cool little tricks and how to kind of even approach danger building for your campaign. I'm joined by Kevin Carpenter, the MC of Rolling in a Mist. And we will start in a few minutes. Let's see. Now, let's see what's happening in the chat. We already have some highs. Hello, everybody who's joining. Great to see. They're saying he is muted. I wonder who they're speaking about. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, I can hear you, and let's see, people will let us know. Oh, let's see. Just trying to look here for the okay. Kevin is muted. We can't hear him. Okay, Kevin. For some reason, they can't hear you. Let's see. Maybe add
Check
to the OBS. Anyway, guys, so today we are going to take a look at several dangers, completely different dangers. Some of them are going to be bosses, others are going to be minions. Some of them are going to be fight scenes, others are going to be social scenes. We got a bunch of things setting up. And let's see how that goes. We're going to give it a minute to set things. Okay, very good. Great. So, good. So just for, just maybe, we already have a couple of, we've asked you over the last week what dangers you would like to see us create. And we have a long list of things that we're probably not going to, not going to be able to finish everything. However, it will be great if you guys can just throw in ideas. Hey, Frank, hey, Oliver, Marcus, Gustavo, Sticky Keys. I see everybody's here. Volta. And our man Omar is also in the audience. Okay, so we're all set. We're going to start right in 1 minute. The only thing Kevin is going to ask you if you can see the Facebook chat, because I actually can't see it for some reason on that page. Let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. cannot see the chat. Anyhow, I'll let you take a look at that, Kevin, if you find it. But I think that we are going to start very shortly with our first danger. Oliver says he still can't hear Kevin. Sure. Okay, so we're gonna dive in with the dangers, and Kevin's gonna join us when he can with the audio. Yeah, I'm guessing the audience can't hear you yet. And let's see. Okay. So we shall dive right in. If anyone has any ideas, about the dangers you would like to see today, you can still convince us. If you have a great, amazing idea that I will just not be able to resist, then we shall dive right into it. But for now, we have a couple of dangers to start kind of like warming up with, to do a little warm up with. Last time we did 2 other sessions. I think one early this year and one last year. I think one of them was about the basics of danger creation, things like custom moves, hard moves, soft move, the spectrums. How do you even use a danger? Then we had another session about the more advanced stuff and kind of like dived in a little deeper into custom moves and how to really make a danger work for you. And we kind of looked over a couple of the custom moves that are available. So just to give you an example, up here, I have some custom moves templates ready. These are all taken from the MC Toolkit. Things like active shield, starting status, status filter. So the pages are here. Actually, I'm going to drop this link in the chat now. So everyone, if you want, you can just look directly at the document that I'm working on, the Google Doc, where we're going to be creating all these dangers. So your city of this game is obviously very unique. You want to be creating your own dangers, but there's a couple of things that, the pro level of danger creating that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And I think the first thing that we're going to start with is that in many systems, when you create a challenge or an enemy for your group, an adversary, what you try to do is to create an accurate model of that danger or that threat. And in City of Mist, it's a little different. As you know, City of Mist is more cinematic, it's more narrative. And in City of Mist, when we create a danger, what we want to do is we want to create not a model, not an exact model, but actually we want to create a scene. We want to create an interaction. So some dangers will be a social scene, some dangers will be more of a fight, some dangers will be something mysterious that is hiding itself, or a magical interaction, or a situation, or a component in a scene, right? It doesn't have to be the whole scene in one danger. But we're not. What's important to me to convey today is that we want to think about the interaction that the danger is going to have with your characters. It's not just about, okay, this is how strong it is, this is how fast it runs. You're going to use the rules, spectrums, moves, all these things to create a really cool interaction for your players, really. So let's see a couple of questions. Yeah, people are giving advice about OBS. Thank you. And Ian the Anxious Dragon is asking about which dangers we're making yet. There's a hint on the screen, but well, not right now. There was before,
There
but
was a
yeah,
hint on
we're
the
gonna.
stream. Speaking of OBS dangers, are people able to hear me now? Actually, I can probably answer that myself just by listening to YouTube. It's just there's a little bit of a delay between when we're talking and when we're streaming.
Can people hear Kevin? Will the mystery of OBS be unraveled? Anyway, let us know on in the chat, and we're gonna dive into our first danger.
I'm
So,
coming
like
in.
I said, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, very good. Oh, Kevin is here. He was always here for me in my heart, but you guys couldn't hear him.
Apologies for the technical difficulties there, everybody.
Okay. So awesome. We are all here, and we're ready to start with the first danger. Like I said, we're going to go for an experience. So a lot of people ask me many times, how do you make a boss fight in City of Mist? So if you don't know, if you haven't looked, City of Mist books are packed with 5-star dangers that will give your crew a run for their money. But today we can dive into one of them. It's a good start. We can explore different defense moves because bosses usually have a lot of those. And the first boss that we have ready is also kind of a little of a a little of a tip of the hat to all the D&D players who have been joining us. We are going to be creating a character or an NPC or a danger whose mythos is a lich. So the almighty sorcerers from beyond the grave. Did you have an encounter with a lich in D&D ever? I don't think I ever played against one.
I never had an encounter with well, no, okay, I definitely had encounters with liches in Dungeons and Dragons, and those are sort of like one of like the big examples of like a D&D like villain, just a wizard who has done an unholy ritual to get a weird semblance of immortality. Like they're almost always evil. They always come packed with like spells and all that. And like one of the things I love about the Lich though is that Dungeon Dragons, you face off against like spellcasters or magic all the time. But like the Lich's reputation for like dark power and all that has made it like you see one of these and you're like, oh no, we need to
Turn
run. Like we
around.
need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Uh that actually a bit of tabletop history. There's a dungeon called the Tomb of Horrors, very famous for being made to kill players, and of course the final boss is a lich that has gotten tired of being a lich, and he became basically like a cosmos lich, a demi lich or whatever. It's a boss meant to kill players, and that's very
Okay.
funny to me.
Okay, so I guess that's what we'll be making today, and that's awesome. So let us know. However, this is City of Mist, so this lich is someone in the city, a modern day person with a modern day occupation. So I just put a little, young looking person in a suit, creepy looking person in a suit that's also has his youth. Of course, the lich is way dead, but they can present themselves as youthful people, especially in the city where the mist will give them any kind of look. What do you imagine that a lich is in the city? That's kind of one of our missing pieces, and that's going to affect some of the moves that we're gonna give this lich. So give us some ideas. What is a city parallel for someone who has kind of given their, I don't know, their life, their soul in order to live forever, who they are, and in order to also gain dark powers. So let's see some of the ideas you guys have, and then we're going to dive right into danger making.
Well,
So
and
yeah,
another
some
thing to
people
think
never
about
fought
while
a
all these
lich.
chats rolling in is like the Lich never gets its powers from a good source. It's always from like a ritual that like destroys souls or you have to eat children or whatever. Like it's always like this guy has gone over the line of good and evil. No, there's no redeeming a Lich. So there's always like, oh,
Right.
what did you sell your soul to in order to like get this power?
Yeah. Cool. I like, there's a couple of suggestions. Someone said ice cream parlor, but we have that in another danger. That's our guy, Omer, and someone said also head of a pyramid scheme or a
I
grave digger.
I can't get over the head of a pyramid scheme for a lich. Just someone who's taking their power from all the people they're bringing in to
Oh
this.
my God. Cool. So we have our head of a pyramid scheme. And thank you very much, the Long John Silver. And whoops, I completely misspelled that. Okay, so we have our mythos, we have our logos. Obviously, when we're creating, a danger at this level, we're going to make it a 5-star danger. Um, then basically, we're going to focus on their mythos powers mostly. Unless their pyramid scheme is also something super powerful that they can use. Now, this is something important because what I said before, we want to create this danger for a specific scene. We will never be out of here. We'll spend the whole hour just on this lich if we were trying to create a danger for any application of this character, right? This guy, he's the head of a pyramid scheme. He's very powerful. I'm sure that he also has a lot of legal aspects that he can protect himself, or go on the offense. He can hire pretty much anyone, and hitman stuff like that. When it comes to these things, you can just go to the MC toolkit, open the mover and shaker danger or the crime lure danger, and these are dangers that can create other mundane dangers. But we want to focus on the powers of the lich, and let's start with the spectrums. I'm pretty sure that liches are hard to destroy. I mean, you can't just can you just like Kevin? Can you just like blow them to smithereens and that's done, or do they reassemble? Are they more hardy? How does it work?
Oh no, yeah, you that's the other thing about a lich is that you can't so easily kill them. Even if you destroy their entire body and turn it into ash or whatever, they have a special thing called a phylactery, where they have like a piece of their soul, and kind of like Voldemort's Horcrux. If you kill a lich, their piece of the soul is still inside their phylactery, and so if you don't destroy the phylactery as well, you still have a lich on your hands because they'll just show up again and then hit you with disintegration ray.
Okay, so we know that this guy's pretty hardy, and even when he dies, he doesn't properly die. He can rematerialize. So I'm not even going to bother with the rematerialize part. Like if I was creating it for published content, and that could be important for some of you because we're going to open a marketplace for your creations very soon. So just this is an important note. If I was creating it for someone else for published content, I would definitely include a move that says, unless you find that leech's soul container, or whatever it's called, phylactery, then it's going to, after the next downtime, he's going to be reborn. But when I write it for myself, this is a narrative thing that I know, and I don't necessarily have to create this custom moves. You know what? You can tell me what's the right word for it. So, unless the lich's soul is found or destroyed, I guess, they will reform after the next downtime. Okay.
Something that could be interesting. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat kind of going into like, oh, what if the pyramid scheme was like a youth cream, like filled with essential oils?
I
Like that
love that.
that's how this lich looks so youthful, is because he's literally just taking the youth of all the people that are buying this cream. So if we went with that, I think it would also be very funny if like the phylactery was just in a special like can of youth cream.
So the ultimate youth cream.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that. So the ultimate youth cream, unless the lich's soul, spell it for me. Phylactery.
All right, put me on the spot. Phylactery.
Phylactery. There we go. That's a word I have not heard before. So, unless the Lich Soul's phylactery is destroyed, they will reform after the next downtime. This is something, again, I would do mostly for a kind of, a published content. If I want to publish this content and I want to let people know. That's like the baseline of the Lich. Okay. But let's go back to the spectrums. What do you do to hurt or subdue? Probably pretty tough. I want this thing, not to fall apart. Or I have two options. Either I can give them a very high hurt or subdue spectrum. They're pretty hardy. They can take a lot before they, a lot of missiles and magical attacks and stuff, that mythos powers allow. Or I can actually make them quite fragile, but give them a very, moves that help them regenerate, that help them, just ignore a lot of damage, stuff like that. So I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think it can take a beating, but maybe not as much beating as our biggest, monsters. So I'm going to put it hurt or subdue at 5. And now I'm going to scroll up and take a little bit of defensive custom moves and add that just to create. I'm definitely going to give them a status filter, and I'm definitely going to put bodyguards in play because I think, that's the thing about liches, right? They have all their minions.
The minions in this case being a lot of people I see on social media. Hey guys, I've just become an independent business person. You gotta buy this new cream. It just makes you look so youthful. Puts
That
away
is
all the
awesome.
wrinkles. I used to look like a zombie before I started using this cream.
Okay, if you guys have a name for us, let us know. The cream is the ultimate weapon. Defame 5, collapse the pyramid 6. Yeah, I like this thing. I'm gonna
I had to
grab
keep
these
from
things.
laughing out loud when I saw collapse the pyramid 6. That's so perfect.
Right. So this is where the thing is, this is kind of splitting into two dangers. One danger is a danger that you can fight in person in a scene, and another danger is kind of more of a social danger that probably takes multiple interactions to reach. So these are the kind of dangers that spread over a full page in our books. We're
Yeah,
just going to put a little gap between these things and kind of create those two separate interactions and then maybe build them into one.
because that's like the thing with like a lich is that you can't just destroy him. You have to destroy the other thing. With this guy, it's like you can't just beat him up. You have to take down his business. It's bigger than that at that point.
It's true. And maybe, maybe the phylactery is in all of the youth cream everywhere. And it's
Oh
like, go find the one
no.
that that's going to be. I sold it somewhere. It's somewhere in the world. I don't even know where it is. So, mind reading and stuff like that are not going to work. Um, when you're fighting with the lich, what kind of stuff do you think they're going to be pretty immune to, if not completely immune to?
So first thing right off the bat, anything like, necrotic, anything with like dark energy, a lich is usually like pretty immune against because that's what they're made of. They're
Yeah,
they're
that makes
basically just
sense.
a bunch of, necromantic energy put into a bone suit.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, and also
So
like liches, one of their favorite moves is using counterspell. So like any like magic that's thrown at them, and all, and that's with like Dungeons and Dragons, but even in like fantasy and mythology, like liches are inherently magical beings.